Hi everyone, it's Stephanie with Sportsmetrics. Today I wanted to go over some agility techniques to keep you injury-free. We know that 2/3 of ACL injuries are non-contact, meaning they occur without any contact from another player. Injuries occur most often with a sudden stop or change of direction, and there are a few techniques we can work on to make sure that when this happens, your body is ready to react quickly without injury. So today I'm going to show you a simple drill you can do at home in your backyard to practice some of these safe techniques. The drill that we're going to use, we call it a shuttle or zigzag drill. And for purposes of space, I'm only going to show you a small part of the drill, but you can make it as big or as small as you would like. I would recommend the size being comparable to the court or field you play on. So we're working on cutting technique and changing direction, and we always start with this drill on day 1 of Sportsmetrics training. Your cones are going to be set up in a zigzag pattern, and you're going to be doing sharp cuts around the cones. So the first technique we're going to work on is cutting off of the correct foot. So I have my smaller scale zigzag drill set up, just the first 3 cones, but you would just continue in a zigzag pattern. So what I want to show you, as you're coming up to the first cone, you're cutting left. You want to make sure that the foot you're cutting on is the foot furthest from the cone, not the foot closest to the cone. The reason being is if you come up, so I'm cutting left, if I plant on my left foot and I'm turning left, I'm putting all of my weight on my left leg and I'm twisting at the same time, which is not good for your ACL. So what we want to teach people to do is when they're coming up to the cone, again, cut with the foot furthest from the cone, so you're not putting all of your weight on your right foot and you're just shifting left. The second technique we're going to work on is getting lower and bending at the knee every time you cut around the cone. The reason for this is the more you bend your knee, the more you're using your hamstring or the muscle in the back of your leg. The more you activate and use your hamstring muscle, the hamstring is simply put a friend of the ACL. It keeps everything in line, keeps from there being too much tension on the ACL. So as you're coming up to the cone, you want to reach down like you're reaching for the cone. Now I'm pretty short, so this is easy for me to almost be able to touch the cone. So that's why I say reach towards the cone. Even if you're taller, just try to get as low as you can, okay? So as you're coming around the cone, you're cutting off, again, the foot furthest from the cone, reaching down, bending at your knee. You're not bending over at your waist. You're still keeping your chest and shoulders up, down low, and push off. The third technique we're going to talk about is using short, choppy steps, basically keeping your feet moving at all times. This is going to keep you more agile, so you're ready to unpredictably change in any direction, and also keeps your feet right underneath your body where you have full control. We know that studying ACL injuries, a lot of these injuries occur when the foot is too far out in front of or to the side of your body. Okay, so we're keeping our feet right underneath us. Now, coming around the cone when you're making a cut, instead of taking a large leap to get to that outside foot, you want to take short, choppy steps. I almost call it like the stutter step as you're going around the cone, keeping your feet moving. And I always have athletes think about either a quarterback or a running back. When you watch a really good one that's really agile, moves quickly, they always have their feet moving and they're ready to change direction at any point very quickly. And finally, you want to look at the position of the knee itself. Another thing well known in the study of ACL injuries is that we know they occur when your knee collapses inward into what we call the valgus position. This happens so quickly you may not even know that you're doing it. So actually it'd be a great idea to have somebody videotape you cutting to see if you notice when you're coming around the cone if your knee collapses in, okay? So as we're coming around the cone, we're remembering cutting off the outside foot, getting low to the ground, and you want to keep that knee right over your toes straight forward and push off. Don't let it collapse inward. I would recommend working on each of these techniques one at a time. Go through the drill 2 to 3 times at 50 to 75% effort, concentrating on one technique at a time. Once you get comfortable, start putting them all together and increasing your speed until you can master each one at 100% effort. I hope this helps you with your training. If you need any more tips or training advice, visit our website at sportsmetrics.org with our at-home training page. Thanks everyone, and stay safe.